الحمد لله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وجعل الظلمات والنور ثم الذين كفروا بربهم يعدلون وهو القاهر فوق عباده ويسبح الرعد بحمده والملائكة من خيفته فلله الحمد رب السماوات ورب الأرض رب العالمين وله الكبرياء في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم نحمده سبحانه ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ به من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أحده في أسمائه وصفاته ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الرسول النبي الأمي الذي يؤمن بالله وكلماته أرسله ربه رحمة للعالمين وسيد المرسلين وخاتم النبيين بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة فالذين آمنوا به وعزروه ونصروه واتبعوا النور الذي أنزل معه أولئك هم المفلحون ونسأل الله أن يجعلنا معهم ومن يعص الله ورسوله ويتعدى حدوده يدخله نارا وكان ذلك على الله يسيرا ونسأل الله أن لا تجعلنا معهم اللهم آمين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت وسلمت وباركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وآمنوا برسوله يؤتكم كفلين من رحمته ويجعل لكم نورا تمشون به ويغفر لكم والله غفور رحيم ثم أما بعد. My dear respected brothers and sisters, every people, every community, every nation, and even today, many organizations, they strive very hard to leave a mark in history. They strive so hard to make a name of greatness for themselves. Nations call themselves the greatest nations. But what is the measure of greatness? How does someone see greatness? When you look to what people do, we measure greatness by superlatives, by saying the strongest, the most powerful, the tallest, the fastest, the richest. These are the terms we use to measure ourselves vis-a-vis others. My dear respected brothers and sisters, today we say we are the greatest nation that ever lived. And there are dozens and maybe hundreds, and it could even be 1,000 or more, nations that preceded us that thought too that they were so great, that they were the greatest of all time. Sometimes you hear in sports vernacular, the GOAT, greatest of all time. Take, for instance, a nation, so great they were. They lived so long. They may have lived centuries and maybe even over a millennium. That nation so great, they're not worried about dying tomorrow because they live so long. Today, the human being, no matter how old and decrepit that human being is, they strive just to stay alive one more day, connected to life support. Even if they were not connected to life support, sometimes their kidneys don't function, or their liver does not function. They have to be on dialysis. That human being strives so hard to live long, even though they can no longer function. And yet there was a people that lived very, very long, over 1,000 years. They thought they were great. They said to themselves, we are the longest living. And yet when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was ready to show them that they are not so great at all, Allah erased their footsteps on the very earth that He walked upon, sent upon them a flood so heavy, so massive, and drowned them all. Subhanallah. And because they felt they were so great, that Allah did not only destroy them, Allah made sure that there were no survivors except those that Allah saved. Nowhere in the spot of the earth was a survivor, except those who Allah saved. There was once a nation that said, we are the most powerful. See, these superlatives that you hear people use, they were used before. We are the most powerful. And the nation said, Man ashaddu minna quwwa. Who's more powerful than we are? Allah reminded them, أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّ اللَّهَ الَّذِي خَلَقَهُمْ هُوَ أَشَدُّ مِنْهُمْ قُوَّةً. Do they not realize that Allah is the one who created them? He has more power than they do. No human being has any power, really. وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. Even Iblis knows that. The human being is weak by construction. That's why Iblis had a problem making the sajda. He thinks, I'm making sajda to something beneath me. Something worse than I am. It's mud. Subhanallah. Look at the hikmah of Allah to create us from something that you don't even want it to touch your shoes. Dirt. Imagine if you showered, you dressed so well, you've worn your best pair of shoes that cost you $1,000. Your suit costs you multi-$1,000. Silk suit, pure white, and one speck of dirt, you just hate it now. It's being tarnished. From that dirt is you and I, a human being. Man ashaddu minna quwwa. Who's more powerful than us? When Allah was ready for them, what did Allah do? Allah sent a very furious wind against them and cold. It is the worst kind you can think of. Picture this. In America, one time there was a tornado that passed in Joplin, Missouri. About an hour or so. It destroyed an area 70 miles wide. It just passed for an hour or two. Joplin, Missouri. Remember that? It destroyed so much land in a few hours. Houses gone. Leveled. When Allah destroyed these people that thought they were so mighty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, send them a very furious wind that is cold. صَرْصَرٍ عَاتِيَةٍ سَخَّرَهَا عَلَيْهِمْ سَبْعَ لَيَالٍ وَثَمَانِيَةَ أَيَّامٍ حُسُومًا. See, when a tornado touches down, that we see in America, it touches down for a few minutes and it goes away. A tornado will touch down and it will go away. Haven't you seen an 18-wheeler, a tractor trailer, being spun in the air like a toy car by a tornado in Texas? Flipped up. You should see it flew so high in the sky, like 50, 60 feet in the air. Spinning at the same time. Dropped like a toy. Imagine if Allah sent a wind so furious that it lasted 7 nights and 8 days. It is cold, it is noisy, it will destroy anything. 7 nights and 8 days. After that was over, Allah says, فَتَرَى الْقَوْمَ فِيهَا صَرْعَى كَأَنَّهُمْ أَعْجَازُ نَخْلٍ خَاوِيَةٍ. You should see them, how they lay dead. Their bodies were hollow. They've been flung every day, every night, hitting houses, being hit by stones. Allah crushed them in the air. When the wind stopped, they were like date palm trees that have been uprooted and hollow in the inside. That's how Allah destroys a people that think they're so mighty. There was a people. They were very, very strong and they had good architecture. They loved to build. They can build anything anywhere. See, today we're building. We're building houses made of what? Paper. Drywall. It's so easy to build houses in America. They're the cheapest houses you can build in history. And we sell them for $500,000. You can punch a hole in the wall of your house. There is no wind. Even a hurricane will take your house away. Much less what Allah sent to destroy those people. These other people, Allah said they were better than all of us. They could build anywhere on anything, and they don't use tractors. They don't use cranes. They don't use any of the building materials we use today. وَيَنْحِتُونَ مِنَ الْجِبَالِ بُيُوتًا. They carved it with their own hands in mountains. That's because that was their skill. Subhanallah. When Allah was ready for them, they felt they were very safe in their houses because they carved in mountains. When Allah sent a sayha, a blast, killed them all in their houses. Can you imagine that? You're in a fortress, you're in a mountain, and Allah sent death for you. It killed you right inside there. A shockwave, a sayha. No one can escape it. SubhanAllah. There's so many of these instances of greatness. When one human being says, Ana Rabbukumul A'la, I'm your God most high. And it says, أَلَيْسَ لِي مُلْكُ مِصْرَ وَهَذِهِ الْأَنْهَارُ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِي. Do I not own the dominion of Egypt? That weak human being could not even swim. Allah just drowned him. It's enough. It's one person. Just drown him. SubhanAllah. So when you see all those people in history that claim to be great, I am the greatest this, I am the greatest that. Today we say we are the greatest nation that ever worked on the earth. We have the most wealth. We've created the most wealth. We are the most powerful in terms of our weaponry. You know, Ad is probably listening to us now. You see, Ad is saying, you better be careful. We were more powerful than you. Why? Because we were built powerful. التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد. We were strong in ourselves. We were giants. Who are you, little human beings? You have nuclear bombs. Yes, okay. Allah has bigger than that. SubhanAllah. So we are the most powerful. But today, when a nation says they're powerful, they show their might and power against weaker nations. We oppress others financially or militarily. And we say we're great. While here in America, inside, the police are killing people left and right with impunity. We are so wealthy, and yet 99.99% of the wealth belong to a top few. And all of us only constitute about that 1% or less of the wealth. And we all work to make those few on top richer. And there are poor people in America. There are hungry people in America. There are homeless people in America. What does the wealth do for all of us then? How can we be the most wealthy nation and yet we have the most debt at the same time? $20 trillion. If you printed it in paper, you will fill up probably the entire Loudoun County. How can it be that we're wealthy and yet we're the most in debt? See, sometimes when you are at the moment of your decline, you start to think you are ahead. Many of the great nations disappeared because when they started declining, that's when they deluded themselves of thinking they're great. We're strong, we're powerful, and yet our might and power cannot help our brothers and sisters in Syria, in Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Kashmir, nowhere in the world. We could not help any country that truly needed military help. Haven't you seen history? We only use that power to oppress other people. We use it to oppress weaker nations. But when we stand against other strong nations, we turn to diplomacy. I'm just trying to tell you what the world looks like, even though we claim to be the most powerful. My dear respected brothers and sisters, we have technology. We're the most innovative nation. And yet, technology is not helping to improve lives or to improve the environment. We're polluting the world with our technology. Till we reach a point in time, even our kids cannot breathe clean air or drink clean water because we've used technology to destroy this world. I asked all these questions, brothers and sisters, to make us realize, what does it really mean to be great? Can any human being claim to be the greatest? And that is truly the question we must answer. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين ثم أما بعد. My dear respected brothers and sisters, how do we measure greatness? Beyond just using hyperbolic words like superlatives, the greatest, the fastest, the tallest, the richest. How do we truly measure greatness? Greatness can only be seen in how we have capability used to uplift the human condition. If you want to claim to be wealthy, your wealth should show where? In how you treat the poor. If you notice the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is the one that set up what looks like an imbalance in society. Allah is the one that made some people rich and some people poor. Some people weak and some people strong. It's all part of the test. Some people more intelligent than others. Just to test and see what we do. That is why zakat is the right of the poor that will be taken from the rich to be given to the poor. Some people are poor, it's not because they're lazy. It's because the qadar of their rizq has restricted it. That's why Allah says, أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَبْسُطُ الرِّزْقَ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَقْدِرُ. It's Allah that does that. And Allah set up the system. وَرَفَعْنَا بَعْضَهُمْ فَوْقَ بَعْضٍ دَرَجَاتٍ لِيَتَّخِذَ بَعْضُهُمْ بَعْضًا سُخْرِيًّا. Allah said, I'm the one who made the system this way. So some of you will depend on others. Today when one person is rich, they will oppress you with their wealth. They will take from you. How is it we are the richest nation? And yet, we nearly bankrupted this country when the housing crisis collapsed. And then, your taxpayer dollars and mine were used to bail who? The banks. And the banks took the money, they fixed their books, they paid their CEOs, and they stopped lending you and I money. And if they did lend you money, they asked you for interest. Why didn't the government give us the money to pay off our own loans then? Or pay it off for us? Do you see the injustice in it? Your greatness is measured by how you use power or capability to uplift others. That is why the strong should defend the weak. For example, look at Dhul Qarnayn. Dhul Qarnayn is somebody that trod the earth long time ago. We don't even have a hidden history of this man. And anywhere he went, he did something. أما من ظلم فسوف نعذبه ثم يرد إلى ربه فيعذبه عذابا وأما من آمن وعمل صالحا فله جزاء الحسنى. Subhanallah. This man went and he was stomping out zulm in the world. Wherever there's a tyrant, he stomped out that tyrant. Wherever there were weak people, he lifted them up until he came to a people. He found a people somewhere, and they came to him and said, Ya Dhul Qarnayn, inna Ya'juj wa Ma'juj mufsiduna fil ard. Ya'juj and Ma'juj are spreading fasad, corruption. Can we pay you to protect us? قَالَ مَا مَكَّنِّي فِيهِ رَبِّي خَيْرٌ. What Allah has empowered me is better. Just help me with manpower. Where is such a person that tries to create balance in the world? Where people are suffering, he helps them become better. When people become a zalim, he fixes them right. That's what you do with power. You challenge those that are spreading corruption, and you protect those that are weak. What do you do with wealth? You assist those that are poor and make them better. What do you do with technology? You improve the lives of others. When the people came, subhanallah, they asked Dhul Qarnayn, they asked him for this, أَن تَجْعَلَ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَهُمْ سَدًّا. A barrier. A sadd is a vertical barrier. Dhul Qarnayn says, I will do better than that. He says, فَأَعِينُونِي بِقُوَّةٍ أَجْعَلْ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُمْ رَدْمًا. A radm is a horizontal barrier. They wanted a barrier to stop Ya'juj and Ma'juj. No, Dhul-Qarnayn made a barrier that sealed Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Sealed them in. He used technology to make it better. He mixed metals to make that barrier. آتوني زبر الحديد حتى إذا بين صدفين قال انفخوا حتى إذا جعله نارا قال what did he do? أفرغ عليه قطرة. Pour on top of it what? Brass. He made a stronger metal and he sealed them in. But Dhul-Qarnayn did not say, I am the greatest leader in the world. I traveled all over the world. I defeated every tyrant and I saved every people. He did not say he was a righteous person. He was thinking those who do good deeds, Allah will reward them. Those who are doing bad deeds, we will fix them. So my dear respected brothers and sisters, why am I putting all this on the table? That we today in America call ourselves the greatest nation. And one of the cornerstones of this greatness is our system of electing leaders, our democracy. It's different than other democracies in the world, no doubt. When every single one of us that is capable can vote for their leader. But it's not everybody that votes, and it's not every vote that counts. The system is designed wherein others make the determination who becomes the president, and that is the electoral vote. That's the system. It works sometimes it doesn't work. My point to you and I is this. We should never develop the arrogance of thinking that we are the greatest when everything is destroyed around us. That's number one. Number two, yes, our system is better than others, but it is not the greatest. However, brothers and sisters, individually, you and I can make a difference. Collectively, we can change where things are going. So I don't want any of you to say, I'm going to just stay home and not get involved because who am I to change? 1 vote, 100 votes, 1,000,000 votes can change something. When you just don't vote once, you and I have to work hard to change this system. I believe you and I are here as Muslims to show America a different path to doing things. Look at the system which Allah has given us in Islam. The zakat takes care of those that are unfortunate. They've met different difficulties. Lift them up. You look at other things, the protection of women and children, the disenfranchised, always baked into Islam already. Allah enshrined the protection of women and children, the orphans. They're the most vulnerable of them all. Look at Surah An-Nisa. Allah revealed the beginning of it because of who? وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تُقْسِطُوا فِي الْيَتَامَى. Who are the most vulnerable people amongst us? Is an orphan. Because of their case, Allah started laying these very strong laws to protect them. Subhanallah. Justice in Islam, it is balanced. Only in Islam, subhanallah, somebody guilty of a crime can be forgiven. In America today, if you murder somebody, the crime is not against the family or the person you murdered, it's against the state. So even if the family of the deceased came to the judge and said, Judge, I want you to let this person go free. Will the judge do it? No. If you kill a person, it's a crime against the state. In Islam, you can forgive a killer. You can forgive a killer. Give me any justice system that allows you to forgive somebody that has done you wrong. Subhanallah. This is the part of Islam that we have not even started to show the people of America. Worse, we have extremists who are now the ones that are the mouthpieces of Islam. They're killing people, they're drowning people, they're crucifying people, they're blowing up people in the name of Islam. Now do you see how difficult our job is when you start to show the justice of Islam? The average American says, no, you guys are all terrorists. Every single one of you. That's what the media allows them to portray. Subhanallah. Have you ever seen Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam commit an act of terrorism against anyone? The way we define terrorism today, which is still bogus, they only define it for Muslims, but not Muslims. Never. Why? Subhanallah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was oppressed and his companions in Mecca. Allah told them, be patient. They did not blow up anything or attack anyone. You know what Allah told them in Mecca? قُلْ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا يَغْفِرُوا لِلَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ أَيَّامَ اللَّهِ لِيَجْزِيَ قَوْمًا بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. Allah says, forgive them, pardon them till the day of judgment. When they left Mecca to Al-Madinah, they did not go back to Mecca and start harming people. They stayed in Medina, tried to establish the deen. Quraysh wanted to attack them many times, they defended themselves. When they finally got to Mecca, during Fath Mecca, when the Muslims entered Mecca with very little or no bloodshed whatsoever, subhanallah, now they have the power. Before they were weak, now they're strong. Now Quraysh asked, what are you going to do to us? You know, brothers and sisters, when you have the power to exact revenge, and you don't, that is what we call magnanimity. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the only leader in the history of the world who once persecuted, got power, came back, forgave the people. He says, "Idhabu wa antum tulaqa." He says, go, you're released today. He released them not because they became Muslim, they were still mushrikeen. He said, it's okay. You're free today. I didn't come here for bloodshed. I came for the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no leader in the history of this world. We have dropped atomic bombs on people, have we not? Haven't we? They were not soldiers, they were just civilians in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I'm saying that's history. Yet Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he had the power, even to make dua against people to be destroyed in Taif, he said, no, maybe they'll be Muslim one day. Allah Akbar. Look at this human being filled with rahmah, even for his enemies. Subhanallah. If you ask me, what is truly then the measure of greatness? The true measure of greatness is when you use all your means that Allah has given you to uplift the human condition, by protecting the weak, by assisting the poor, and by making sure that everyone focuses on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah says there is a great nation. And I will conclude with that. And that should be good news for all of us. He said, كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. Allah says there is a best nation from the human beings, all of them. And that is the nation that does. تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. They enjoy what is good, they forbid what is evil, and they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They do that constantly. We need to do that if we want to be great. Where is the nation that does that for the world? There is no nation. We have a United Nations, but they're not united. Even if you're being killed, the United Nations will just deliberate on it, and they'll come up with resolutions that can never be implemented. You'll be all dead before they ask, oh, finally we got an answer. Oh, wait a minute, everybody's dead in that country. We don't need this answer anymore. Allah says, if you believe in me, and you amr bil ma'ruf and nahy anil munkar, you will be the great nation. And don't worry about all these tyrants, those that are running for president, who always act like they're the next Fir'aun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this. You know, you and I pray every day. We make a dua. And that dua is al-Fatiha. In it, we say, Maliki yawmiddin. Do you know what that really says? Maliki yawmiddin. See, on the day of judgment, Allah brings all the human beings. All those who think, I'm a king, I'm a president, I am the Secretary of Defense, I am the guy that pulled the trigger on the nuclear bombs. All of them like ants. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for you to recognize, for you to know the meaning of Maliki Yawmiddin, Allah will start the Qiyamah. وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ فَصَعِقَ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا مَنْ شَاءَ اللَّهِ. Everyone will die when they hear that trumpet, that horn blowing. Everything dies. Even maybe Malak, they will die too. Subhanallah. فَصَعِقَ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ. Everyone is dead. Subhanallah. Allah asked a question. لِمَنِ الْمُلْكُ الْيَوْمِ. Who owns this day? He'll ask him, Limanil mulkul yawm. Limanil mulkul yawm. He can only answer himself. No one can answer. Lillahil wahidil qahhar. Only Allah belongs everything. The one, the irresistible. And he will ask in Hadith Qudsi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ana al-Malik, I am the king. Ana al-Jabbar, and I am the forceful. Ana al-Mutakabbir, I am the proud. Aina mulukul ard, where are the kings of the earth? Aina al-Jabbarun, where are all these tyrants? Aina al-Mutakabbirun, where are they now? Nowhere. Nowhere to be found. When Allah says Malik Yawmiddin, every human being comes powerless. No money, no power, no friends, nothing. You come in front of Allah and Allah will show you His might and power. All the malaika will assemble so you can see the forces of Allah. وَمَا يَعْلَمُ جُنُودَ رَبِّكَ إِلَّا هُ. Allah will bring Jahannam so you can see it. Jahannam says, throw them in. So you can see the power of Allah. Allah destroys the universe in front of our eyes, Yawm al-Qiyamah. So you recognize Malik Yawmiddin. We are not the greatest nation ever. Want to know why? Just 100 years ago, there's a country in this world, part of its name was great. Do you remember that country? Part of their name is great something. La hawla wa la quwwata. In less than 100 years it changed. وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. Allah says, I rotate the days. Could it be that in the next 100 years, some people will say, there was a country that is so great, the heads of their presidents are in mountains. They had a flag they called the Star Spangled Banner. We heard about them. We're reading their books now. Will we disappear in the annals of history? We will if we continue to oppress others with our strength and might and our power. We need justice. We need Iman. We need a Muslim, brothers and sisters, to guide people. To be senators, to be congressmen, to be mayors, to be everything, county board supervisors. We need people that believe in Allah. Not to come and implement Sharia. No. To show people that there is justice, there is fairness, there is guidance. Allah will support a leader that has Iman and Taqwa, like Dhul Qarnayn. If America saw what Islam really represents, we will adopt it. Seriously. We will not run away from it, we will adopt it. But we all need that courage to come together, and I invite everyone that is here, you and your families, everyone, wife, children, husband, brothers, sisters, let's come on Sunday together here in the Douglas Community Center in the gym at 2 p.m. for a community gathering. Why? We need to know each other. Nita'arafu. Number one, we need to establish connection with one another. We are not a community. If I don't know who you are, you don't know who I am. If I don't know when you're sick, when you're happy, when you have a nikah, we need to know each other to live like a community. So the first thing is to know each other and to establish one vision, one mission, one purpose, and one goal. Together, let us build a community that has one purpose: to show America Islam the way it is. And unafraid to say, this is my religion. That is our mission, brothers and sisters. It is very difficult. Imagine when people of America say, Muslims are good because my neighbor Muslim is good. I don't believe the media. They can say what they want to say. Ahmed next door, he's the best guy. When I'm sick, he's here. When I need help, he helps me. And he is always kind to me. That's how you give da'wah. That's how you reach society. Insha'Allah. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Kama sallayta wa sallamta wa barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim. Innaka hamidun majid. Allahumma hdina fi man hadayt. Wa afina fi man afayt. Wa tawallana fi man tawallayt. وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وانصر الإسلام والمسلمين واغفر لجميع موتى المسلمين يا العزيز يا كريم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. وأقيموا الصلاة.